Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. Today is Sunday, Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday. This is the Sunday that Jesus Christ supposedly rose from the dead. A few years ago, Jesus Christ was born into the world and given as a gift from the Heavenly Father that we cannot see, that we might have a taste of what it's like to be a servant, to be a representative, to be a child of the living God. And so amongst us, Jesus walked, and he walked according to faith, knowing that his faith is what guided the path that led him right through this darkness down a path of righteousness. And we have said that that was something that Americans or the people of the West and people of many places want to pattern their lives after. And we think about things that Jesus said. We talk about being on the mountain with the devil. We talk about walking on water. We're talking about praying that the will be done on earth as in heaven. We talk about a lot of things. But what does it all boil down to? It all boils down to just a few things, ladies and gentlemen. One, there is a power that we can't see, ultimate power that is God, is responsible for all existence. All existence, that includes all of us. And we who live here have access to all that God has given. We also have choice. And out of this choice, we can create for ourselves heaven, which basically means that all of our desires and wants and needs are met, our dreams come true. Or we can cater to a different style, which will probably mean that a few people's dreams will come true at the expense of everyone else. But we must learn, and we will learn if we're open to learning, that the only way that that can exist is for the people to yield to that. And so, in order for us not to yield, we must represent love. This represents evil, this meaning that which will cause a few people to enjoy life, as it were, at the expense of others. And the other, righteousness. Love does not bend. And this is our challenge, ladies and gentlemen. This is our challenge. As Jesus Christ rose from the dead, what does that basically say to us today? That if we believe and accept that as a reality, then we would allow that same spirit that lived in Jesus Christ to be alive in us. And what that basically means is that we will care for one another. That out of all the things that we can possibly have in the world, that it's been made available to us as lovers, meaning that it is available to every individual on the face of the earth according to the principles of love. And we cannot accept it any other way except the principles of love are experienced and expressed. However, we are living in a situation, my friends, where that calls us to have to bend or stand. And love must stand. Love must stand. So, what I say to all of us, the whole purpose of our lives is to accept that there is a God and allow that God to live in us. Let that God be a God of love, a God that says that you are very important. And you means the 8 billion people that's on earth today. to God are very important. And since 8 billion people on earth today are important to God, then 8 billion people on earth today are important to each of us. We care about 8 billion people on earth today as if those 8 billion people represented us. I was thinking about today as uh, so many went out to church today to honor the resurrection of Jesus Christ, about the people who were being bombed and murdered by evil in Ukraine. And I was thinking about how the rest of the people across the world were going to church, praising God, and all of these kinds of things, going out having, excuse me, having dinner or lunch and just having fun. Then I thought about all of the other places where the same kinds of battles are taking place, where people are being killed and people are being murdered. I thought about the people who were running from their own native lands, trying to get away from the treatment, the beating, uh, persecution. I thought about people who are upset with their governments, and their governments got policemen beating them with bayonets and beating them down. I thought about all of that struggle that's going on in the world today while we are celebrating Jesus Christ's resurrection from the dead, while many of us are going along day to day from our duties and responsibilities, not giving any thought to the pain and suffering that others are enduring around the world today. And I thought about that, and I thought about that, and I thought about that. And the conclusion is that yes, we go through these kinds of things because we do not know any better. We do not know any better. I say this because what I say to people today, no one ever said to me. It, I learned it. I was led by a spirit that taught me these things. I was sent around the country to do certain things so I could come back and tell the American people that they are on the path to hell. I was sent around the country. I've sent to different places. I've paid my dues, ladies and gentlemen, so I can come back and say to you that even yes, those of us who are on the religious path, those of us who are so holier than thou, all of us are still on the path to hell because we do not know love. This is the problem, ladies and gentlemen. We go to church, we do all those things. You pay your tithes and your offering. You do those things. And other things that you do in the church, you sing in the choir, you play in the band, all those things, you do those things. But you do not know love. You have no idea what love is. You'd have to go through some of the worst pain and worst suffering, hoping that you were dead or something, and all of a sudden a miracle happened for you to understand love. But would you understand love from that perspective to the point that you can exercise that same kind of love to everybody else? Can you be so grateful? Can you be so honored that that happened to you? Can you be so aware that a power that you couldn't see was right there to be there for you and gave you information that you didn't have before, but information that you can use right now to stand up, not just to say to others that there is a God, but to walk as if there is a God. And what do you do when you're walking as if there is a God? You're being a God to the people that's hurting. You're standing up for people that's hurting, people who are in pain, people who are in suffering. You're a God there for them, standing up, exposing that which is causing them this pain, and introducing to them this great big medicine that's giving them light so they can live again. So we got a mission. It's just not just to fit in. Being born again doesn't mean, okay, I got me a job. Now I can fit in. Oh, I'm one of everybody now. I'm one of the Joneses now. We can all everybody can be cool now. We're all right. Now, my friends, that ain't what being born again is about. Being born again is about seeing the difference between darkness and light and choosing the light and representing the light as opposed to fitting in, as opposed to being saying, all right, I'm cool now. I'm cool now. No, you're not cool now when you're born again. The only thing when you're born again is say, hey, there's a new day in Dodge City. There's a new day in Minnesota. There's a new day in Itta Bena, Mississippi. There's a new day in Birmingham, Alabama. There's a new day in Atlanta, Georgia. There's a new day in Albany, New York. There's a new day all across the globe, and that new day is a brand new tomorrow that's founded on principles that's been given generations ago, and that is that we do unto others as we'd have others to do unto us. And ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to say that on this particular day, I won't try to give you the menu because I got it all over the place. So if you want to see where I'm going with a story like this, please go and view some of the videos that I got posted. And I got them posted on every subject. And one thing about it, I got a book that I haven't printed for publication yet. And it's entitled A Walk Through Life from Hell to Paradise. And what that basically is about what I've been trying to say through the messages that I've been presenting before you. That it all is about coming out of this darkness and coming into the light and choosing the path that will give us freedom from this darkness. So I invite you to check out some of the other videos. I want to thank you so very much for giving me your time. I just want to utilize another moment before we all went to bed to say to you that until we allow that spirit that we cannot see to live inside of us, and it's so wonderful because it teaches us to love everybody. Because of that, it gives us boldness to stand up having nothing to fear for whatever righteousness represent. That is us, and we are happy because we're doing it for not just God, we the individual, but for all of us. Now that's something else. That is something else. You can't beat that. Everybody should jump on the train. All right. Goodbye.